So hello and welcome. My name is Margherita Ghetti. I am the Next Wave programmer at Jewish Film Institute. Thank you all for tuning in and welcome to the second edition of JFI Youth Jury Award ceremony. As many of you know, this year marks JFI's 40th anniversary, and it's a year in which we have been exploring ways to pause, learn, and recognize everything that is happening in the US and in the world, while we explore ways to come together as a community, celebrate Jewish film and culture, and also we continue waiting for theaters to reopen and for our audience and filmmakers to be together in theaters again and safely. So as we do all these things, it is my pleasure to welcome you here to celebrate and meet the 6 members of this year's youth jury and the 2 directors winners of the Youth Jury Award. Before we get to know them and start our conversation, I want to thank the premier sponsor of the Youth Jury Award, Wells Fargo, and the Jewish Community Federation and Endowment Fund for additional support. So we're ready to talk about films. Earlier this spring, we put out our call for entry for student films with Jewish content. The response was overflowing. We received more than 300 films from 44 countries. As we worked to narrow it down to 5 finalists, we were inspired and learned a lot from the creativity, themes, and artful storytelling that emerged from these short films made by students. This process of viewing and selecting films was a powerful reminder of the possibilities and future of Jewish cinema, exploring themes related to Jewish identity, history, and culture in original and provocative films, from documentaries to animated films to experimental shorts. So it was then the task of our 6 jurors who were selected among more than 30 high school students who applied to be part of the jury to watch these 5 finalist films, work as a team and as a jury to select a winner and prepare this award ceremony. So we'll hear from them very soon. So on behalf of JFI, I want to express my gratitude to all these young filmmakers and students for their work and passion and for what they give and promise to keep giving to Jewish cinema, and also for allowing us to watch beautiful films and to be here today. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Akardi Kaet and Miki Patch, co-directors of MASEL Cocktail, winning film of this year's Youth Jury Award, and they're joining us from Germany. So hello, Akardi, hello, Miki, how are you guys doing?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure being here virtually.
Yeah. Likewise.
Would love to meet you in person, but now we're sitting in a very hot, in our very hot flat in West Germany.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a chance to meet together in person and talk film and watch more of your films too.
We hope so too, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on winning this year's Youth Jury Award. As the jury can attest to, it was competitive, but we loved your film. We learned a lot. We laughed. We were surprised by its humor, complexity, and layers. And so it's our pleasure to be here and to witness you receiving this award. So you will now receive the award certificate, and in a second, a member of the jury will proceed to read a jury statement. So let me share my screen so I can show.
It's exciting.
Yes, this is not what you're supposed to see.
Lot of tabs.
Could have gone, no. This is not either. Great. So this is your certificate. Oh my God. Okay. So you're the winners of the Youth Jury Award. and the San Francisco Jewish Film Festival is honored and pleased to have you here with us. So congratulations. We can send you a copy of the of the virtual certificate and hopefully exchange it by hand soon too.
Yeah, we'll print it and put it here.
Yes, can be on your walls. Okay. So can you okay? So now we have a youth jury member, Emma, as a spokesperson, Emma Penaz-Eisner, who is going to read the jury statement that we all crafted together after watching the film and declaring it the winner.
Okay, hey. In a colorful and provocative manner, Mazel Tov Cocktail tackles almost every contemporary Jewish issue. Through the choreographed use of driving camera work accented by fast-paced editing and punchy humor, we are introduced to the life of Dima, a Russian Jew living in Germany. The performances range from intense and serious to cartoonishly surreal. Film creates a subjective and complex internal world which allows for it to be lifelike and nuanced. Ultimately, Dima's unique take on Jewish stereotypes compels us to re-examine our worldview.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, we now move on to a Q&A and conversation. I know our jurors had a lot of questions and are eager to learn more about your film and how you work. So I will pass them the virtual mic one by one, and I will also introduce them. So we'll also recognize and honor all the work that they've been doing. So our first question is from Alison Enik. Enik, thank you. And a senior at Northgate High School in Walnut Creek, California.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Allison, and I'm going to be asking some little introductory questions today. So our first question is, what is the genesis of this project? If you could just explain a little bit about where the idea came from and the production.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I start so first of all, hi everyone, because we said already hi, but hi again. It's very a pleasure to be here with you. Also, just wanted to say quickly, it's really like cool for us, and we're super excited about the fact that the film Mazel Tov Cocktail, which is a like truly Jewish German perspective, also works overseas, and you watch it and you get an idea about what it's like to be Jewish in Germany. I mean, of course, it's done in a funny way, but it deals with a serious topic. And to come back to your question, it was a film school project in my third year. Mickey and me were working together for many years. We met several years ago, I think 8 years ago, in our first studies where we studied film together. And after that, Mickey went on to study philosophy, and I went on to do my master's in film. And in our film school, you do a film every year. You have 4 years in school, and the fourth year film is your diploma. And this was the third year film, and it all started with the idea: what is it like to be Jewish in Germany? Yeah, and how can we transport it through a mix of statistics, documentary snippets, monologues, and kind of archetypes in the German Jewish dialogue. It was all, I mean, I'm myself from a Jewish family, and I'm dealing with this kind of stuff, with this perspective my whole life. And I was looking for a way to transport it. So we started writing a script. I started, in the beginning, it was me and my girlfriend. She's not Jewish, but we're a couple for more than 10 years now, which is a long time when you're 28. And Mickey joined during this process of writing, and then he kind of took over and we wrote together, and then we co-directed the whole film. All the lead positions were, all the people in lead positions were students of the Film Academy in Germany, so this is a complete student project. And I think, just because you asked the genesis of this project, I think we started writing in winter 2017, right, Mickey?
No,
2018, sorry,
18.
2018. I think in November. Then we wrote the script till April or May 2019, and then we started the whole production, and it went on. We were shooting right now. A year ago, we were on set and shooting. So
It was like 12 days, something
yeah,
like this, with the shooting.
12 days of shooting, and after this we did 3.5 months of editing, and our premiere was in January this year. Yeah. Just if I miss out, you can ask, right? If I don't know if I answered it everything you wanted to know. Also,
No, that was perfect.
Okay. Maybe actually we weren't writing only till April. We were writing like one day before the shoot. So it was always, we were trying to fix something and to add a new line or change something.
Yeah. It was a team of, I think on set were around 35 people. And all in all, I think around 60 people worked on this project for a period for more than a year. Yeah. I don't know, are you guys doing film, or you have any experience in film?
Yeah, we all have like a little bit of experience. I worked on a set, and then I think a lot of us are just kind of enthusiasts. We're learning as we're doing this project.
Keep on.
Yeah. Okay. So our second question is, what were your visual influences, and what other works did you pull from?
Yeah. We have a cameraman. He's very proud that he always, for every movie, he wants to find an original concept. So of course there were a lot of influences, but like he didn't want to copy. So we had some sources. It maybe was like Shaun of the Dead, this very fast editing style. We used something of this. Maybe a bit Guy Ritchie, yeah. And in our other movies, we also already used this whoosh elements and the stuff. So yeah, we recycled our own style a bit.
That sounds a little bit arrogant, but yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, it was, no,
these whooshes are also by Edgar Wright, is it? I think Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Or do you maybe know more influences, Arkady?
No, but I know that it was the first time that we did a film like this, because before that we did very like classic narrative films, and it was the first time when we had war breaks. So it was also for us an experiment in a way, and also was a lot of trying and failing and trying again and rehearsing. And then I think we rehearsed for many weeks before the shoot with the main actor, Alexander Wertmann, until we found what's the way, what is the camera work. Also our DOP, Nikolaus, who did all the camera stuff, he's always also participating in the rehearsals and thinking what is the best way to cover it. So of course you have like an influence in your head. We wanted to have it fast, we wanted to have it fast editing, we wanted to the dialogues to be very how we say, not kind of developed, but like every sentence has a function and leads to something else. Yeah, that's what we thought before, but then everything evokes, is the right word, I think, in the process.
Great, thank you. I know that in our conversations, and I think I mentioned this to you guys already, Tarantino came up as a reference. So
he's definitely also a reference. But you know, when you say it was influenced by Tarantino, you sound like a first year film student.
ooh,
Because
okay.
because everyone looks up to Tarantino, of course.
Yeah.
We're not. I think both Mickey and me were not like big, like super big fans. I mean, he has great movies for sure. Like probably one of the best
Yeah.
He's one of the best living directors, but it wasn't like we want to be like Tarantino.
Of course. Yeah. It's just something I think that popped up in a lot of us when we first watched the film. So just sharing the thought. Okay, so we're moving on to our second juror who's going to ask a question. Gabriella Buzansky, she's a sophomore at Berkeley High School. So Gabriella, go ahead.
Hi.
We can't hear you. Maybe the internet is a bit unstable.
Maybe if it doesn't work, you can write the question. It still
Yeah, do you want to
work.
write the question in the chat, Gabriella? We'd love to hear your voice, but no.
Sounds like the microphone isn't activated.
Yeah. Typical Zoom situation.
It's coming in the chat.
So maybe let's do let's circle back to Gabriella and hear another question. Maybe Gabriella, you can try to see what's happening with your audio. And I know we have a third question by Jacob Glaski, who's studying at the college preparatory school in Oakland, California. Or did you graduate already, Jacob? Okay, he just graduated. Congrats from the college preparatory school in Oakland, California. So,
thank you guys. It's nice to meet you guys. So my question's about the character of Dima, and I was wondering, like, what was the process like of developing Dima, and specifically, like, once you casted Alexander Vertman, like, did that change things at all, like, about his character?
Maybe you speak about the casting and I speak about the process of the character, Mickey. So,
maybe first the process of writing the character.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So I think this film is completely character driven because it all started from the character. So before there was any scene or any other character in this film, there was Dima. And it all started not even with a script, but with monologues of Dima. Like we asked ourselves, what would we like to tell to the audience, especially to the German audience, from a German Jewish perspective? So we started writing and we wrote all this like stuff. And he was like Dima in the beginning. He was even more angry and he was more radical and he was really confrontative. So we wrote all the stuff down, and once we had it written down, we corrected. And then we started of thinking about, okay, in what setting he could speak about this, in what setting he could meet another character, and what does the other character stand for, and what is the challenge in this scene. So this was really kind of interesting because we also never worked like this before, but then it became really hard once we started the casting. Yeah, because Mickey, you can take over, but for us it was very important to have a Jewish actor, and it's like super hard. Germany.
Yeah. First we casted some Germans, but somehow it didn't feel like we got some e-castings, and when they said the sentence like "I'm a Jew, I'm a real Jew," it just didn't feel right. And so first, in Germany there are not so many Jewish actors, especially in this age. So we were looking for like Muslim youngsters because they maybe have the same experience as Dima, like a Jewish person would have. But yeah, there weren't a lot of people. So we were very lucky because Akadi has like a Jewish scholarship. And in this program, there was, I don't know, there was featured. Alexander Bertman was featured. It was said he's like a new part of the program. So this was how we found him actually. And so Arkady wrote him and he sent us an e-casting and it was quite nice. So we decided to drive to Berlin to meet him in person. And we did a casting situation. I think we played with him 2 scenes. The one with the teacher
scene.
The teacher scene, and 1 scene with him speaking to the camera, breaking the 4th wall. And yeah, it was very funny because Alexander Bertman, he was or is still learning at a theater school. And it's quite different what they learn there from cinematic acting, because they pronounce the words very significantly so that everybody in the big audience can hear it. And it sounded very weird. It didn't sound like real daily talk at first. But then during this 1.5 hour we practiced with him, he got so much better that we saw his potential of getting rid of this theater language and developing a daily real accent of a youngster who would live in these houses where Dima lives. And yeah, we also thought that Alex was a very nice guy and we could talk with him and he would understand everything we told him. And so
also very important, just because that he's Jewish himself, and when you come with a script like this to an actor and he has no relation to it at all, he has to go and research, he has to speak to people, he has to think about, like, to find a position. But when we came to Alex, he like could clearly say about every scene from his own experience, and that makes it very easy to direct him. You know, when you can just relate to his own experiences and speak with him about it, like he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's speaking about. And with other actors in rehearsals, we saw very fast that like doesn't work, because like you have to explain the scene and you have to explain what it means, because it's not so clear everywhere. You know, you can direct it in different ways. And yeah, he understood it very fast. But like I said, there was also a very long process of rehearsing with him. And it was, Miki didn't say it, it was his first film. So it was his first performance in front of a camera. He did a theater for many years. And he didn't know what a set looks like and how it works on a set. And yeah, he's a really great guy and he's very talented, and he will be probably a film actor one day.
You launched his career.
Maybe, I can tell you in 10 years. But he won 2 days ago. He won on a Rhode Island Film Fest.
Oh, cool!
Best actor. I think it's the other coast.
Yeah, he has an amazing presence on screen. I think we were all charmed and captivated by, I think, just the first time he looks into the camera, you're in. You know, I kind of was in.
That was also very important, that like he's a guy, you know, when you meet him in private, he's a guy who comes into a room and he's very sympathetic to everyone. Like, people like him and he has a joke and he's like charming. And we knew that like Dima, the character, he's kind of aggressive and also a bit ironic and sarcastic, that you have to be careful when you cast someone you don't like from the first second, then you won't listen to him. And
okay, let's move on to the next question. Gabriella, do you want to retry, see if your Zoom is on our side this time? No. So go ahead and write the question in the chat, and we'll let someone else ask the question, and then we'll move on to yours. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So Gabriella's question, as you guys can see, thank you for writing it, is throughout the film, she says, the camera is exclusively on Dima, except when his grandfather speaks to it. So why did you choose to allow this particular character to access directly to the audience? Am I reading the question right? Yes.
Good question. I have to think about it.
No, it was a lot. This has a story, like the grandfather, because there was a lot of discussion. Like if you let him access, like if the camera sticks to him. I think, I mean, the obvious reason, or the simple reason, is that we wanted to do, like, in this whole concept of the camera is following Dima, we wanted to do something.
Surprising?
Yeah, something surprising, because like you learned after 25 minutes, you learned that the camera sticks to Dima, and this is just like a good moment. And it was important for us also, like, to give Dima's grandfather, who's also Jewish, and it's another Jewish perspective in Germany, to give him the voice and give him the moment to speak. But I think we earned some also, like, from our professors, we earned some criticism towards this exact moment, that like they would have preferred that the camera sticks to Dima and we stay with our concept. But me personally, I like it. I don't know how it was for you. I like it because I think it's a very, like, surprising moment. And also it gives us time to, there was another reason, it gives us time to let Dima continue in his walk and to skip time, like through the thing with the grandfather. Yeah, because he has to be on the completely different spot after this. Yeah. Vicky?
Yeah, I think another reason is because at the end Dima gets very aggressive, and the grandfather also opens up a new perspective on Dima. You again get reminded that he, in fact, with his family, he has a very heartful connection, and I think you feel it in this scene. And when the grandfather talks about him, you realize Dima's a nice guy, and it's maybe important to take this feeling to the final, where Dima gets very aggressive again. And yeah, but yes, some people who watched the movie said at this point they were somehow distracted, and like the flow of the movie was broken. But I think it's subjective.
Interesting. I think we all appreciated it and we're very curious about it, actually. So thank you, Gabriella, for your question. Okay, the next question is from Emma Penas Eisner, and she's a senior at the Fusion Academy in San Francisco.
Hello again. So I was really curious about how the creative process runs during a collaboration between two directors. So which of you brings what specific ideas and skills to the film? And then how do your different educational backgrounds, because you studied philosophy, impact your contribution to the film?
Where to start? Maybe I think it's a lot of happens in the preparation, like all the conflict, all the discussion. It doesn't happen on set because we try to remove every discussion point prior to shooting, because on set there's really no time. We just have to do our jobs, and everybody knows what to do, and we have to be like one voice. So prior to shooting, there's a lot of discussion also with our DOP, but on set we try to speak like one language. Arkady?
I have the feeling, just like in a bigger view, I have the understanding of that we complete each other pretty good, like, and it's just a coincidence. I know I have friends also from film school who tried to co-direct, and it always led to conflict and it didn't work out. And I think it's just a coincidence that we met many years ago and we made several projects together, and both of us know our strengths and our weaknesses. And yeah, I think it's a lot about also like yeah, deal with your own ego also. I mean, when you're a lone director, then you're always in the center, and you have always the last word, and you tell everyone what to do. And I think when you're two guys, then you have a more potential for conflict and for discussion. But you also always have kind of a proof of your own opinion, or not a proof, or like if I have an idea, I can always double check it with Mickey. And if I'm alone, I just can't. So my personal belief is that the films profit from it, definitely. If you can make a space, and you can create a workflow when there are like no big arguments in front of a team or on set, then I'm sure that like films profit from it 100%. Like I think all films we did together, none of us could have done by himself. Like would have been completely other film, and I think not the better film, you know, because like you always have two heads and two ideas and not only one, and then you can just challenge each other.
Yeah, maybe you could say like Akadi is more the guy for the comedy, and I'm more the guy for the drama. But who knows? It's a mixture, I think. But another principle maybe which works very fine, because like the most situations you talk with like a department. Like in one situation about visuals, you talk with the DOP. So we are 3 persons, and it's much easier to decide because it's then democratic. So there will be 2 vs 1, or everybody will be like the same opinion. And if it's like only one director and the DOP, it's always like a power play. Like the director maybe says, yeah, okay, I'm the boss, or we do what I want. And so it's very nice to have this democratic.
Also, just one more thing for me, it's also you know, it's like making films is a lot about diligence, right? Like it's a long work, and it's like running a very long run, like more than a year. And if you have someone on your eye level you're working with, it's like a jogging partner, you know. You have to get out of bed and you have to start working because the other one is waiting. Like when you're alone, like, and you have all this stuff like you don't want to do, because I mean, besides all this creative process, there's a lot of stuff you just don't want to do, like writing hundreds of mails all the time, or speaking to all of these actors and doing all the rehearsals by yourself. And when you're together, then it's like easier, you know, because you just share shit work.
Thank you. Sounds perfect, and I love the metaphor of the jogging partner. Thank you, guys. Okay, the next question is Solomon Lesin Schmidt, and he is a sophomore at Bishop O'Dowd High School in Oakland, California.
Hi everyone, thank you, Margarita. Sorry for my lateness. And here's the question. Do either of you see yourselves in DEMA in any way? And if so, how? If not, how not?
That's a philosophical question. Yeah, obviously, like I kind of do. Like you can't write, or like every time you write a character, there's something private also inside. Even if you write like a very bad and aggressive character, you put things inside your experience. Like I said in the beginning, like it's a Jewish German perspective, and that's why. I mean, maybe before you say, Mickey, I mean, I totally 100% go with DEMA. That like I say sometimes, when you ask Germans what they associate with the word Jew, they will answer you only Hitler, Holocaust, maybe Israel. And yeah, the basic problem is that the only reason why Jews in Germany are talked about is the Holocaust and anti-Semitism. And the Germans know the Jews only from this perspective, from the perspective of we are the perpetrators, you're the victims. And this victimization is kind of in everything, in every conversation, when you speak about my Jewishness with Germans, right? And also I feel like there's no position in Germany or no kind of accepted way of being Jewish, but also being like not a victim, being maybe aggressive, maybe punching back, and not willing to kind of be the guy who stands there and like looks sad. And you know, and this is also for me the special thing about Dima, that he's kind of yeah, he's very
self-conscious.
Self-conscious, and he kind of has a new perspective on Jewish life, and kind of he doesn't want to deal with it, but has to, but he also wants to, but doesn't know, like, you know, he's very kind of confused also in his head, and he's annoyed by it. Yeah, so I totally see myself also in Dima. It's not like a biopic or something like this, but yeah, it's also exaggerated in a cinematic way. But yeah,
we all loved and talked a lot about what you're mentioning about him being kind of self-aware, but also the more meta cinematic aspects when the film becomes black and white and he looks in the camera. I thought we all loved that part, and that's why I think Solomon and other people had this question. Thank you. Okay, we move on to our final question, and our juror is Sebastian Kaplan, and he's a senior at Lowell High School in San Francisco.
Hi, I was wondering about what your families thought of the film when they saw the film. Did they say anything, you know, kind of similar to you guys in it, or what did they even make of the, you know, the kind of like the philosophical, you know, ideas that it brings up, and especially with that, you know, kind of action-packed ending. I'm just curious what your families or people close to you thought of the film.
Interesting. You want to hear the Jewish family or the German?
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Vicky, you want to start?
Yeah. I'm not from a Jewish family. I'm half German, half Croatian. And both my parents said, like, Mazel Tov Cocktail is the best film we ever made and I ever made. So they were very happy with it because it's entertaining and critical at the same time. And they liked it very much. And I think especially what they liked was that, yeah, Dima is criticizing the German community, but it's still on a fun way. So self-criticism doesn't feel bad, or you don't feel shamed, or maybe a bit, but you still have fun, and you can relate to Dima because you see his familiar problems. You get to know him, how he behaves with his grandfather, and like it's a everyday situation on the toilet when he hits the boy. You can understand it, okay? Maybe you are not a Jew, but you can understand if somebody insults you, you maybe punch back. So, yeah.
Like, I remember me showing first time to my parents and my grandparents. And I don't know if I said, but I was born in Soviet Union, so my family is Russian completely. And my grandparents, they don't speak German that well. I mean, they're here for many years, but still, like, I mean, it's very fast paced and a lot of slang. So when we watch Mazel Tov, my mother is translating to my grandmother, and it's kind of annoying because like she's listening to it in German and translating it to Russian, and also my grandfather doesn't understand it completely, but yeah, of course they liked it very much. Like, I mean, they're of course parents, parents always like what their kids do. I mean, they're proud, and they would never like they would never say like this is a shit movie, or this is not good what you did. But of course, there's also a level between like we like the movie and this is really liked it, and I think it was like on this side of the level. So, and also I feel like many people are texting us or me from the Jewish community in Germany, which is pretty small. So like everyone knows each other, and the film circles around, and many people are kind of, I feel like it's also empowering for them that like somebody finally did a film which shows another perspective and which is more radical, and shows this like self-aware character Dima, and they kind of, it's also you know, this the whole topic of Jews in Germany and anti-Semitism and Holocaust and the German past is the German present. It's very complex, and I'm just happy that we made a film which I can just show to people to explain them what Jews in Germany feel like in my generation.
Yeah, thank you. I think we had conversations about the power of this film to kind of bring together generations within the film, and also create a discussion that is lively and it's provocative and it's original. So I think that was also a big factor in why everyone in the jury loved the film. So thank you so much. So I think we are at the end of our Q&A. I'm sure there's many more questions, and I know the jurors were really curious about the process, but this certainly begins to answer and expands on some of the questions that we had. I am very excited for our audience at home to also be able to watch the film, and I'm sure it will resonate and spark new questions and curiosity in everyone. So thank you all so much. Thanks to our jurors. You guys did an incredible job and brought this amazing film to our audience. And congratulations again, Miki and Akardi, for an amazing film. Please stay in touch, and we'll love to know what you're doing next and what's happening in your future. I know you mentioned you're working on a feature film together, so we would love to see that when the moment comes. And so yeah, let us know. And for everyone in the audience, please make sure to keep an eye on what's coming next here at JFI. You can visit our website, jfi.org, for our other events. And we also have a program which I work for, which is the Next Wave program. And we bring together a community of millennial and Gen Z film lovers. So it's about young filmmakers and young spectators. So keep an eye on our Instagram and Facebook to learn more. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Miki and Akardi, again. Have a good evening in Germany.
Thank you for having us.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.